Lovely day to all you folks. My name is Ghost. I am, in fact, your host with the most, gosh darn it. And today we're going to be talking about some of the darkest things that you can find on the wonderful, wonderful platform that is Reddit. Reddit is a social media platform in which pretty much anyone can post whatever the fuck they want, so long as it's within, most laws. There's a lot of fucking wild shit out there, and Reddit is just an endless well of that disgusting, vile content. Reddit's essentially the most reputable platform that you can find things like just people smoking meth on without going on like dark web, which is very thrilling. So let's talk about some of these fucked up things. Now, admittedly, a large portion of this video is going to be focused on gore videos which have been posted to Reddit, but beforehand, I just want to quickly shout out our good friend Ogtha, the imaginary cockroach wife. So this guy's totally delusional. He's really into cockroaches, and he basically just started imagining himself with a cockroach woman wife, which, good for you if that's what you're into and you can recognize it, but he also is like, every time I'm fucking a woman, I have to picture my cockroach wife in order to, feel good and not, oh, that's unfortunate. That's a really awful situation to be in, man. And people have called this shit fucked up, but, no offense to that guy, I guess, but how can you be disturbed by this? This is the most outlandish story imaginable. The guy imagines a cockroach wife. It's goofy. There's, one thing where he's, he accidentally came out about it to, his coworkers. It's absolutely unbelievable. I'll have my editor read a brief segment of it here.
Hello, all you sexy people out there. My name is God, and today I'm going to read a little story for you romantics. So just sit back and listen and enjoy. Ever since I was a teenager, I have had very intense fantasies about having sex with a giant roach. It started in 9th or 10th grade when we read The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. As I started to think more and more about the roach creature that the character had become, I started to imagine what it would be like if a woman turned into the roach instead. I found this idea very arousing. I would not be repulsed or frightened by it, for as the characters in the story are, I would take care of her. Then my thoughts started to get sexual with the character. I'm gonna skip a bit. When I started to have actual sex, I found I could not perform if I wasn't thinking of Ogtha. So basically now, anytime I have sex with a woman, I am pretending that she is actually Ogtha. Not just think about Ogtha. I concentrate intently to visualize that I am actually doing Ogtha. I don't want to think about the gore at all. There is only Ogtha. So anyways, I've been in a relationship with my girlfriend for about a year. 3 or 4 times I've tried to have sex with her and pretend she's not Ogtha, but I just can't do it. So essentially, every time we have sex, I'm imagining she is Ogtha. I finally confided this to her the other day, and I was blown away by her reaction. I thought she might take it a bit badly at first and then get used to it. No. I've never seen such a look of disgust before. Okay, that's enough of that.
Alright. Into the less amusing topics, the many gore videos of Reddit. Oh boy, it's an endless fountain. I would like to toss out there that I'm talking about this stuff because I don't know, I suppose it's just an interesting thing to talk about. May all the people that die in the videos I'm referring to rest in peace, of course, and I'm not encouraging people go look for these videos, nor am I providing links discussing what subs or what users have posted them. I don't think it's necessarily a good thing to go and find these things, and I definitely don't think it's really a good thing to post these things onto the internet in general, but especially Reddit, unless these things hold a serious historic relevance, say like the execution of Saddam Hussein or something, I don't believe that it really has a reason to be on the web, and especially on a platform like Reddit, which has a lot of kids dwelling on it, it just isn't really a good thing to have so accessible. I'm still just going to talk about these things, though, simply because I think it's an interesting topic to discuss. No disrespect. Starting off, we got the Bud Dwyer footage. Bud Dwyer was a politician accused of doing some lay scummy things with lay money, and he was about to be sentenced to a lot of years behind bars. His response was live television suicide, something which is able to be found on a lot of platforms, and I've actually previously discussed this footage at one point, though briefly, in my video on Traces of Death, which is a shockumentary which includes this footage from various different angles. But essentially, the Bud Dwyer suicide footage is extremely culturally relevant because A, people saw it, and, you know, it's iconic in a fucked up way. People know the things he said in the moments leading up to his death. A lot of people know the picture, a lot of people know the video. Heck, even Suicide Boys used it as a cover for one of their EPs. As deranged as that may seem, Bud Dwyer's suicide is extremely culturally relevant, and fully on Reddit. There's also the Sparta remixes of gore videos, which you can find in various different places. I don't know about which ones are still on YouTube, but there have been ones on YouTube in the past, including a specific video that I'll actually be talking about in a few moments. But, the Sparta remixes are essentially taking suicide footage and making it sound like a Friday Night Funkin' song. I would play you an audio sample or, you know, a brief bit of footage or something, but I'm not a bad person, so I'm choosing not to do that because I'm not an exploitative piece of shit. But I'm just tossing out the fact that that exists out there. You know, it's really fucked up, and I don't know why the fuck people choose to do that, or why they choose to have gore footage just straight up on their computer for this purpose. But, I mean, I guess people will, in fact, be people, and the people that choose to make these bizarre Sparta remixes are not good examples of people, quite plainly. Oh well, an interesting thing to talk about, though, because you can't find that on every platform. It's a deranged thing that is iconic to the Reddit and 4chan type internet user. And, well, it sure is interesting that it exists, I suppose. Ronnie McNutt was a veteran and Twitch streamer who suffered from PTSD, and needless to say, after his time serving, he didn't necessarily have a particularly good life, relationship troubles, stuff like that. He is yet another example of someone who commits suicide on camera, live. So there is in fact footage of it, which is all over the World Wide Web, and it is in fact dwelling the realms of Reddit. His suicide video is famous for whatever reason and constantly referenced. People on Reddit tend to enjoy making bad jokes about it, such as the guy that made him in Terraria and gave him a shotgun, and then proceeded to defend their actions, saying that it's not disrespectful whatsoever, repeatedly in the comments. Which, weird route to go, bro, but alright, I guess. There's like an entire culture that is formed around his suicide video on the net, and it's most clearly found and bizarrely vibrant on Reddit. Lastly, I'll briefly discuss the Russian lathe incident, which is commonly considered a grail of gore videos in a sense because of how unbelievably brutal it is. The Russian lathe incident. A lathe is a dangerous tool which is used in all sorts of jobs, I suppose. Not all sorts of jobs, but a good handful of jobs. And essentially it's a very, very fast spinning machine, which you don't want long hair or a hanging coat near because it will suck you in and it will not be a pretty sight. The Russian lathe incident is considered extremely brutal by many people, with a lot of people discussing how they felt like puking after watching the video. Essentially, a man gets sucked into a lathe, spun very, very hard, and has his insides on the outside, and one of his co-workers witnesses a large portion of it. It's a devastating video, and it's there. Thank you for watching. I hope you had some form of fun. Again, I'm not encouraging looking this stuff up or posting it. I just think that it's an interesting little topic to talk about because it's so weird that these things are so readily available on such a public platform. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Probably don't look these things up. And I'm wishing you the best of days. I'm Ghost, I've been your host, and I hope to see you in the next one.